You, we, all of us were dead because of our sins. And I lift that up. So then why should we celebrate any level of our sinfulness? The celebration of any level of our sinfulness is the celebration of the things that are killing us. The text now, as Paul or his surrogate is writing, is trying to communicate a new understanding for this community that is being inundated with brand new spiritual information. And some of you know what that's like. You know what it's like to be surrounded by new spiritual awakenings and new spiritual information that seems to pull us away from our foundational ideas. And I've mentioned this before. Back then, there's this idea of elemental spirits, and that probably sounds very foreign to us. But the idea was that there are powers at work in the heavenly realm that we need to go through to get to God. And if we need to go through them, then in many ways they become the arbiters of our faith to the very one and only God. Thus, people would start to do things in worship of these elemental spirits and not the God that they were supposed to be the arbiters to. And Paul is like, wait a minute now. I want you to know what is happening, because you don't have to worry about these other surrogates that are in the way of God, because the true God has a way of dismantling all of that. So you ain't got to worry about if there are or if there are not elemental spirits. They still are in obeisance to the one and only God. And if God is God all by himself, if God is the one that is sitting on the throne, if God has all power in his hand, and God elects to call you child, you don't have anything to worry about.
Glory, 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 hallelujah, hallelujah, glory, 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 hallelujah, hallelujah, glory, 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 hallelujah, hallelujah, glory, 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 hallelujah.
The work is already completed, but its ramifications keep moving forward. The work doesn't need no help, but it keeps on helping. The work doesn't have to be done again, but it keeps moving and grabbing folks as it goes. When he says that he took it all the way, it's in the perfect tense, meaning that although this is past action, all new actions still fall under the auspices of the work that had already been done. So your old stuff, your present stuff, and the stuff you don't even know that's showing up in the future has already been accounted for in God's work for your life. He took it all away. That hanging upon the cross now are the things you did as a child. Hanging upon the cross are the stuff that you did last week and recently. And even the future of your life, all of it is hanging right there. And he does it publicly, so every single demonic presence will know that you are now free. You are now free. You are now free. You are now free. No more record can be brought up for you, because I dealt with that already. That every new accusation, he points back to the cross and said, I took care of that already. That every single new problem, he points back to the cross and said, that's already handled. Which is why we never get away from the cross. Which is why the cross moves us forward, because it's done. Hallelujah.